Hey, what's going on, Renegades? Today is going to be a special and awesome adventure slash episode slash video. We are taking my 1965 Gibson LG1 to basically get it restored. There's this guy who was highly recommended on Facebook here in San Antonio, and basically he's going to set this thing up to where it plays better than it did in 1965 straight out of the factory. Some of the stuff that we're going to be doing is we're going to take off the old frets, put stainless steel frets on there, do a fret level, do an intonation, action, and just your basic guitar setup. Now, although I can do this on electric guitar, those are all screws, and I can set a guitar up to my specs perfectly just fine with an electric guitar. But with this one being an acoustic, I have no idea what I'm doing. Plus, with it being made in 1965, I'd rather just leave this to the professionals, know what I mean? But that's where we are off to right now. Let's pack this bad boy up and let's go. Well, this is gonna be a fun adventure. You guys never seen me in the hat like this, huh? It is hot. It's December 13th and it's hot. I'm putting the AC on in this thing. We're on our way to go and get my guitar restored. I have no idea where this is at, so I won't know until we pull up and we'll find out together. But if you guys can help me name this guitar, that'd be great. All of my guitars are named except for this one, and I just can't find a name for it. So help me name her. Okay, so we're here. I didn't want to record the drive because I tried doing that and it just doesn't work the way I thought it was going to work. But I have no idea where we are. All I'm going to say is support your local businesses. How was the trip there? Terrible, as usual. Love it. Let's go.
To refret it?
Refret with stainless steel, fret level, if it needs it.
The stainless steel isn't recommended on acoustics.
Okay.
It does what they call a back ring.
Okay.
And what that means is when you're strumming it here, of course you're supposed to be getting this sound, but for some reason this makes a sound too.
Gotcha, okay.
And so it's like it's like they're not in tune with each other sometimes or
Right.
something.
Okay.
It doesn't sound good.
Whatever.
I would
makes
love
this
to do
thing
it.
looks
Okay.
Good. Yeah. Like I was saying over the phone, this has not been touched since 1965, other than the strings
Okay.
as needed. So yeah, you saw that coming off right there. That's
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that can be fixed or if it's just better to leave it. I mean, I'm not trying to resell it at all in any way, shape, or form. My kids will never
I can
sell it.
try and save it. I think I
Okay.
can.
Okay.
Okay. They are supposed to be curved at the end, though, right? It is supposed to be curved. That
Yes.
one, right? Okay.
Yes.
So I just need to stretch it. Here's what I can definitely do with it. I can level it out. It's supposed to have that little bit of a rise and all that, but I can level it out and try and stretch it back to the same size.
Okay.
Okay. What I recommend is going ahead and gluing it back down, or it's going to keep on shrinking
Gotcha. Okay.
and twisting up. So, okay, so you want to go ahead and refret it though, right?
Yes, and
Okay.
then
I can guarantee you those are good pegs.
really.
Yeah, I can tell.
They don't make them like they used to.
Well, I can tell these are old, and these are probably high quality bone.
Well,
pins.
good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
So this was my grandfather's, and he passed away. Went down to my dad, and then I picked up the guitar. My dad never really played.
Yeah.
But I do, and yeah, he gave that to me. So it's
So what I'm going to do is go ahead and inspect it so you can get a basic idea of what kind of shape it's in right now.
okay.
By doing this, I mainly kind of already know how it is, to be honest with you. I mainly do this so you can learn about it. I like my customers to know what they're talking about. And this helps you understand what's going on with your guitar and helps you make the decision you want to make with your guitar. Okay?
Okay.
So right now, I don't know if you're going to be able to do it with the camera, but if you listen, and you can look from the side here if you want.
Okay.
But hear that?
Yep.
Okay, that is, this side of the neck is coming up like that. It's rocking like this.
Okay.
It's so the neck is coming over like that on this side, and on this side, it is perfectly straight. So we have a twisted neck.
Okay.
Okay, but luckily, since we're refretting it, when I refret it, I resurface the fretboard, so that will take the twist out of it.
Okay.
So it needed a refret for sure, even though, well, yeah, the frets are worn out too. So this all the way around needed a refret. Basically, it really doesn't matter, but even the frets are unlevel. When we refret it, I never do a refret without a fret leveling.
Okay.
That's part of the charge.
Yep.
So when you get it back, the neck will be perfectly straight, and the frets will be leveled. It'll be playing better than it's ever played before.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So what I'll do too is I'll go over it, make sure the nut is filed properly, which I can tell your G strings are right. Yeah, it looks all right, but I'll go over that. We're going to do some modifications over here. When we fret level it, the strings get real low. And see this angle at the end of the nut right there?
Yes.
That's critical. That angle is critical. You want it to match your headstock, pretty much. And same thing over here. You have an angle. See that angle right there?
Yep.
That angle, when we get the strings lower, comes down, and it makes it where the strings are barely resting on the nut. So I do a little modification in here that makes the strings come up at an angle like that.
Okay.
But the benefits to it are, since once the strings are coming up and over like that, they're pulling the saddle down onto the body, so you actually get better sound out of it too. Okay?
Okay, cool.
So it's actually going to sound better. And then, yeah, we'll get this pickguard taken up care of. We're going to try and get it. It shrank when it came loose. That always happens. But we'll try and match it up as close as possible, because we want to keep the original, keep it all original.
Right.
But we'll go ahead and secure it again so it isn't warping, and we'll be able to flatten it out some and all that. But yeah,
awesome.
We'll get it taken care of.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. So all we're gonna do then is just your basic setup with the refret and a fret level.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
The refret and fret level includes a lot of stuff.
Okay.
When you get it back, it's going to play better than it did when it was brand new.
That's awesome.
So
I'm excited. This is my dad's Christmas present to me. So
yeah,
so
cool.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. And this is a guitar to be taken care of.
Like I said, this is never leaving the family. It's gonna go on my will. You're gonna never sell it. You're gonna be a stripper before this gets sold. This is never leaving the family.
Cool. Yeah, it's a nice guitar. Yeah, you can tell it's. I don't know if you want to know this stuff. You can tell it's painted with nitrocellulose paint. That's real common, especially with Gibsons and on your older guitars. That's a paint that's specifically made for guitars.
Okay.
But when it gets old, it cracks up like this. That's why it's cracking up, and that's normal.
I mean, to me that looks beautiful, so I have no complaints with how it looks.
The bridge has been taken off before.
Has it?
Yeah, let me look at something here. See this line right here? It may have needed it. We're gonna try and figure out why. See that line right there?
Yeah.
That's telling me this bridge used to be up to there, and someone took it off and moved it back for some reason. Unless that's just dirt. No, that was up there. They may have done that because it was placed in the wrong place. We'll measure it real quick and see. We're at 12 1/4. Yeah, they did it to get the intonation set right. The intonation was off. Yeah.
So is that something that had been done at the Gibson factory then, or?
No, your
later?
grandfather probably had it done.
Really?
Yeah, the intonation is off. Are you familiar with intonation?
I am, yes.
Do you know exactly what's happening when you're setting the intonation?
Intonation, basically, it's the distance between the nut and the bridge, right? And then if it's too far, it's going to be flat. Too short, it's going to be sharp.
Yeah.
And you want to get that distance just right to where in the 12th fret.
Let me explain it, because I like you guys to totally understand it. And it's easy, okay? But basically, you got a couple different scale lengths in here, okay? You got from 0 to 12. And from 12, if there was a 24 fret, another scale length right there. And if there were frets here, you could still play it. There's another scale length in here. Okay. If that's why you get harmonics and stuff and all that in this area, because it's actually so. So what you're doing when you're setting the intonation is you're synchronizing all three of those scale lengths to be in tune with each other.
Okay.
So when this was forward more, what would happen is you would tune up here and it would sound fine, but the more you came down, the more it would sound out of tune because the intonation was off.
Right.
So that's why you had it fixed.
Gotcha. That's really weird that it would come out of the factory like that, though. I mean, I guess maybe back then there's not quality control like there's now, right?
When I was going through my apprenticeship, I'm not going to name the company because it's not going to talk bad, but there was a company, this was back in the 80s, they were becoming very big. And they all of a sudden got a bunch of orders, when you start becoming big, you get more orders.
Right.
They didn't have, they weren't drying their wood enough. We literally got a guitar in that came in, you could see the whole back of the neck and the wood was green, totally green.
Wow.
The customer bought it because he thought it looked cool, and it did. It looked cool, but when your wood is green, that means it's still wet.
Right.
So he was having problems with that neck moving all over the place and all that. You wouldn't believe all the stuff you see. Their goal is to try and make the best guitar they can and still give you the lowest price they can.
Right.
Some companies, so it's just the way it works out and all that. They're working fast and putting it together slow, or putting it together wrong because they're working fast.
Right.
So that's basically what it's real common with almost. You got a couple companies these days that are trying to keep their quality control up, but I'm not surprised to see anything from anyone really. To be honest, there's all kinds of things. That's one thing I learned from my teacher Barry Martin. He was learned a lot from him. Have you done some research on this guitar?
Other than taking the serial number, researching it, and figuring out what year it was made in.
Okay. What year was it?
65.
65.
It definitely does look like.
Yeah, I'm sure you know this, but it's worth some money, I'm sure.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, so
I'll be homeless, and this will be my shelter before I sell that.
I love this grain.
Yeah, this is
like it's consistent.
Yeah.
It's literally, I think this is one piece, right? What would you like?
Well, it's a couple. You mean the back
like
is
just
one piece?
because I don't see how you see the big lines. Like this is consistent.
I think you're right.
I love that. This is beautiful. Like that.
If it was a two-piece, we'd see the line right here somewhere. I don't see one.
This is real impressive.
Yeah. Very nice guitar. I'm glad you respect it the way you do.
Oh, yes.
I've never seen a pickguard this puffy like that.
The Gibson did that. Not a whole lot, but they did that on several different guitars. One of them I can't remember the name of. The one that's most famous for it.
Yes.
I can't remember, but it's a real thick one. Like this one's kind of hollow, I believe. Yeah, this one's hollow. Well, it's kind of hollow. The other one is just, and it's real thick.
What is?
To be honest, I don't like it. It has, you know which one I'm talking about? It has the different bridge too. It has like a mustache type.
Oh, I want to see
the Dove. Is that a Gibson Dove?
I think you're right.
So.
Yeah.
Unless the Gibson Dove has that same bridge on there and it's a different model you're talking about.
Well, they have a couple of them. But yeah, it has that reddish orange. It's more red, but that real big. And really, to be honest, that pickguard hurts the sound of the guitar.
Really?
Yeah, because it's plastic.
I actually got this mixed up with a 61 back in the day.
No, not that one.
Not that one.
So if you look up Gibson Dove, it'll most likely have
that was a Dove, huh?
Or yeah, that was a Dove. It looks like a mustache.
Yeah, but that's not quite it. That's, it has more of a curl.
It's like a wire type of.
Yeah,
and it's also an acoustic model.
Yeah, and what I meant by mustache, it has the curl in it.
curled.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the longest time, I thought this was a 61, so I was looking up different pictures and stuff. So the difference between 61 65, at least between then, is the Pickguard. So like this one is, you know, more of a carved top type of deal.
Yeah.
Whereas the 61s to 64 were flat.
Also, I want to mention something on these older paint jobs. I'm going to clean it, but I'm going to stop at the point where if I think it's not good for it. Because this is old paint. Right. In other words, I'm going to be very careful. So when you get it back, it may not be spotless. It's because I didn't make it spotless.
As you can see, fingerprints are all over the place. I don't even touch it.
Okay.
So I'm not worried about that.
Okay, if you rather, I'll leave it alone. I prefer to.
Okay,
you know, because the paint can be, you know what I mean?
The closest I'll get to cleaning it is a microfiber cloth just to take the fingerprints off.
And maybe just a damp one, very slightly.
That's about as far as I go.
Yeah.
Cleaning any of my guitars really, because I do like the worn and weathered look, so I try to make all my guitars.
But this is all gonna look brand new.
That's totally fine.
City's different, you know. I'm from El Paso, so I'm used to a dry town. He's still almost every guitar acoustic I get in is too dry when a guitar comes in. So after about a year, you'll be able to tell how often you'll need to humidify it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And all
that. And then that just happens for a day till you get it back up to okay, and then it's good.
There's a real neat one. I don't know the name of it. What you do is it's got a little hanger on it, and it's got a little tube hanging down, and it just pinches in between the strings. So when you're not playing it, you just leave it in there, and I don't know everything about it, but I believe it's like hassle-free. When you're done playing it, you just put it in there, and it keeps it at a. But
okay, I'll have to look that one up.
You have to do some research and all that. Usually if you leave it in there for a day, it seems like here in San Antonio, if you leave it in there for a day or 24 hours, it seems to be great. And I'm assuming it's probably going to be about once a month. You probably have to do it.
Okay.
You know. But to be honest with you, I always ask my customers to let me know how it went and keep me updated so I can inform other customers. But
check this out. So you probably noticed that I stopped recording for a little bit in there. He was really he wasn't embarrassed. He didn't want to embarrass me. He didn't remember my name, so he didn't want that to look bad on me. Okay, so we are back home now. We did not just drop off the guitar. This is actually a different day. I filmed that entire day, the first part that you just saw, on my phone, and there's a lot of footage that just got completely destroyed and ruined because it was on a phone, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to have a video coming up as to why I hated filming on the iPhone that I just filmed on. And it's not even like my phone was old. It's an iPhone 11. No, it's not a Pro. But does it need to be a Pro in order for me to record something on video if I want to? No. So, before I start ranting, it's going to be in another video coming up, so be on the lookout for that one. But 2 to 3 weeks from now, we're going to have a new 1965 Gibson LG1. I'm super excited for it. There was a lot of stuff that was off camera because it was actually on camera, but the audio or the video file was corrupt, so can't use it. But he let me play a couple of his guitars, a couple that he built on his own, and then one that he actually just got through setting up with new frets. And man, it's almost like I have this guitar right here. This is Abigail. This is my newest guitar. This is the Nick Johnston signature HSS Super Strat type guitar. And I was even telling this guy the way his frets felt. Man, it was crazy. His frets they were so smooth. It almost made me think like, dude, does all my other guitars need new frets? It's absolutely incredible, and it's crazy. So I'm very excited for this guitar. And also the way he had his action set up on this one specific guitar, the frets almost felt scalloped. It was like you touch the string and you also touch the fret at the same time. It's insane. No fret buzz whatsoever. But it was actually a really cool learning experience for me. There's a lot of stuff that I already knew, but then there's other things that he explained a little bit further that helped me understand what I thought I already knew. So that's pretty cool. This has been part 1 of this part of the video. Part 2 is going to be awesome. It's when we're getting the guitar back, so be sure to keep a lookout for that video. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me and checking out this video. Stay tuned for part 2. If this is stuff that you like to see, let me know in the comments below. Subscribe, and yeah, we'll hang out some more. Oh, my camera has been uneven this entire time, unleveled this entire time. There we go. That's better. It's not perfect, but it's there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.